we are Blerd Otaku, and I'm Zoe, and then today we have Marky Mark and Calvis Rant. And today we're actually going to talk about a genre that actually most people, I feel like, are not into nowadays, but it's actually getting bigger. It's called the villainous. And I'm just so excited. So there's actually three that I had you guys watch for the 2 weeks. I hope everybody watched them. I watched them twice. As soon as I sent them out, I was at work and I was like, "Ooh, I gotta see it," and I rewatched them. The first one is called "I have no glasses on." The, no, the Operation Log, my fiance, who can is a
Call
villainess.
herself a
Yeah,
villainess.
who called herself a
Yes.
villainess. So this one is actually on air now. It's up to episode 8 or 9 that is dubbed. So I think it's 9 and then 10, 11. Yeah. So there's two more episodes that I haven't seen just because they're in sub. And this one is actually of a different spinoff because this is normally the villainess is about just the woman from her point of view. But in this show, it's from his point of view. And I like that because even at one, he's just sitting there like, she walks up to him and she's like, "I'm the villainess and I'm supposed to be like killed or whatever. And I need you to marry me to then, going over." Which I think is so funny. And he's just sitting there like, "She's weird. Where is this coming from?" But then as the show goes on, he actually starts to believe her. Like, yeah, it does. How did she know that this was going to happen? She's never met this person. How does she know who they are? And she knows their backstory. So I do like about that. What y'all think of the show?
So this is the one where the girls they all kind of run together for me. So was this the one where the girl she said, "Oh, I got captured," and that shouldn't have happened? Was that in this one? And they were in a barn, and God, I can't.
I've seen so
Yeah,
many.
I've seen so many of them.
Well, I mean, this is the one, like I said, is from his point of view.
Okay,
So you really don't see like a lot of stuff where it's just her. You always see him,
okay.
and then she's talking to him, and
I
then he's
know I've
looking.
seen it because that was the first one I watched, but they just ran into each other where um, she die and go into that world, or
Did
Now,
she?
see, I'm not sure if that's the one, but
Yeah,
there's one where she does die because she gets reincarnated.
yeah,
Izukai. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I watched like 6 of these because I watched 3 other ones, and the first one was kind of intriguing because, well, I mean, the 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 girl, the student girl, I don't even know if she was a student. I think she was a student. She falls asleep and she winds up in the world. And she's this whole peasant hierarchy thing, and she's in love with the villainess, who is this blonde-haired
is that this
upper
one?
So that's
aristocratic
the
thing,
limit of the tame or something,
right?
right? Is that what?
Yeah. Now, but they all had that same running
Oh no, I
theme
don't
where
like the limit.
Oh, okay,
they're either part of, like, they fell asleep into a video game, or
Yes, yes,
for some reason they're the object of everyone's affection is the villainous.
yes.
And even the one with the little girl where she's reincarnated and she's like, "I've got to be the best villainess of all," and she's running around, and that won't do. I have to show them proper
yeah,
Oh yeah,
respect.
that's the other one I sent.
the
All right,
villainous.
That
so
one, yeah.
Okay,
I'm in there. I'm in
Yeah.
there 2 or 3 deep. All right, and I'm just going. But like Mark said, for me they were kind of running all in. I'm like, this is like, okay, so I get the genre
Yeah.
because I never knew that anime had such a niche thing. You know what I mean? Um, and as a I guess as a male, I did kind of the first one that I watched was where the girl, because she bullied her, but the girl was turned on by it. She was turned on by the bullying, right? So I was confused because at first I'm like, "Yep, dude." I'm
Oh, my
like,
next life as a villainess.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's this one.
dude.
Yeah.
the girl steps on her foot and she's like, I'm sorry, I thought it was a big bug and da 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 da. She goes, could you step on my foot harder? And she's like, what? I want you to step on it harder. And I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? Well, let me just watch a few more episodes to see where this goes.
Yeah.
Um, but
She becomes obsessed
it,
with her.
yeah, she does. She seriously becomes like this, this thing. So, but then it goes into the whole king, like she's the hierarchy of the nobles being the only one with the powers and stuff, and that's when I was kind of like, I don't really like that. You know what I mean? No, don't give me a story about only the nobles having the power. Um, in this day and age, I feel like I'm living in that realm now, and I'm ready for the revolt. So, um, interesting, interesting genre though, because
Yeah.
the little girl was running around like she wanted to be the best villain of history. I mean, she was committed.
Yeah, because now that one I do remember. Like, what was that one called? The
That one
I'll
was,
become the best villainess who gets whatever.
Yeah,
yeah, who goes down in history.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm like, she's like a little kid, and she's got one eye patch, and I'm like, she grew up, and she was like,
Yeah.
oh, she's monologuing to herself
Yes.
about a villain would do this, a villain would not do that, and a villain would do this. And I'm like, you're talking, and then you're saving people. That's not the villain's
No, it's
way.
not.
But the girl that's always trying to do something bad, she's more of a villain than this girl
And
is.
she's supposed to be the hero.
Yeah, which I'm like, that didn't make sense. They kind of flipped the script on that one.
Hmm.
So that one, because I guess that's the last one I was watching.
Yeah.
I remember that one more than the other two, and I watched the other ones, and I've seen all the episodes, and I'm like, I feel like this is the same thing that I was watching with the one, and that first one, I just don't remember the plot line.
But see, I picked the three different ones just for the fact that I thought that they were a little different.
Yeah,
Because this one,
oh no, they're
you know,
different. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
compared to like that one, which is still the villainess,
yeah.
and she kick ass. I mean, she immediately punches him in the face.
Wait,
And
okay, so that one,
yeah,
she kept like powering up,
yeah,
and everybody was like, so that one I enjoyed because oh, this is kind of cool. Like, but she wasn't really a villain either. She was more of the heroine.
but she was technically supposed to be a villainess
Okay,
because
but she just kept powering up on everything.
yes,
Oh, I've got this power now, and I've got that power. I was like, that one was kind of cool to watch.
yeah. Then her hair turned black
Yeah.
because she used up
And
so
then
much
she
of
was
her
like,
power.
oh my God, I'm only going to use half power at this one, and I'm going to slow time down to the half speed
Yeah.
to see if they could do that. So that one was interesting. I did enjoy that one, and I remember this one over the first one that you did. So I don't know why I can't remember the first one.
And the first one is on now. You should have watched the new episode that came out.
I didn't see the new
well, I mean, like I said, you have to. I admit that I don't know. I guess as I evolve in my search for anime and certain things, I'm more than willing to. I noticed that now I'm kind of a connoisseur of the foodie anime stuff. Which is weird. It's just bizarre to me because if 20-year-old me would have been like, what are you watching? Come on, man. What's wrong with you? Come on, man. There would be no way,
Yeah.
no way. And now that I'm older or whatever else, I really because I was like you, Mark. I want no nonsense anime. I want robots, explosions, some great anime sex scenes or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I want all that. Don't give me this little stuff where their faces all bug out and they do all this weird stuff. I don't want all
Yeah.
that. Now, I'm telling you, laughter is the best medicine, and I enjoy a good kooky. You know what I mean? Um, and I hate to admit it, but I'm a soft romantic. I love a good love story. If you can give me a good love story, and to date, Tenchi Muyo's love story, Three Times Three Eyes love story, Um, those are some of the one. A little bit of Ramda. I like that one too. You know,
Yeah.
he or you don't even know how to describe Ramda. When he's a he kind of doesn't like a Kane, and then when he's a she still act like she don't, but she's still around a Kane. So those type of love stories are great. But this was a little bit more interesting because the girl wanted the villainous and the worst one that I saw. And then she took the abuse like a champ, and she was like she wanted more. And I'm just like, wow, okay, you know what I mean? Uh, and then the other one, I want to marry. She wanted to marry the top guy, and he was like, no, you can't do that. And, da, 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 da. And he goes, well, and she goes, no, I only want to marry you because I want to become the villainess. Da, 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 da. And he was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, wow, okay. And then of course the little girl running around and good morning, and then they show you her evolving.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I mean, even though I felt like the stories kind of like were kind of the same with subtle differences, I still found it interesting enough to watch 6 different versions of the thing called villainous.
And that's why I added in the first one because it's from his point of view, so it's way different.
Okay.
There's actually this
I
one
gotta
part.
give it to you. I
Yeah.
gotta give it to you. If your intention wasn't really to say, well, I don't really care if you like it or not, but I'm gonna make you go down this rabbit hole, you
Oh,
succeeded. Because I went down 6 rabbit holes and I just after one right after the other going, well, what's this one about? You know what I mean? And as long as it was dubbed, and usually it's like the first 4 to 5 were dubbed and then it goes straight into, whatever. But I hate saying this because there was a time that I would only watch it with subtitles because I was taking Japanese in college. And then I go, that's not what he said. I don't know who's translating it, but that's not what he said. I knew what he was saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they put the whoever does the subtitling, he puts in what their interpretation of what those words were and so on. But I don't have time to read like that no more. Which is funny because when I went to go see Godzilla movie, I felt like I had watched the movie in English and it was subtitled. And when I walked out of the theater, and I was like, "Wait a minute! Oh, okay." So
But
I
why
kind
would you
of,
want it, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
kind of want to go back and start doing a couple of subtitled anime to kind of get back into it because to me, you get the best sound quality. The characters kind of match the voices. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
when you see that bad guy, because that bad guy is always, you know what I mean? He's got that deep growl to him, and then when we get him, he's like, oh no,
I
no,
mean,
no.
there's certain shows I will say though that I do like that they're better in dub. So I have to say, Solo Leveling. I originally when I was watching it, I did watch it in sub, but then I took like a little break or something. I don't remember. I like 2 episodes behind. I was like, oh, let me switch over, and then I was like, okay, I like it better in dub. The main guy, his voice is so deep, it fills it. I mean, the sub version is good, but it's something about the a guy that I'm just like, oh, I gotta watch it, and that's fine.
Okay.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But
There's always that one character that drags you in
yeah.
to whatever it is that
Hmm.
you know what I mean. And for me, I think like with Tenchi, it was the was it the cabot, the rabbit little cat thing,
Okay.
Ray Aoki or whatever his name was. I loved him, and of course, I loved the demon girl more than I did any of the other characters. Little Washu was next, but in those type of settings, those oddball characters or furry pets kind of captivate me enough to keep. But this was, like I said, was interesting up until it got to the aristocratic nobles, and how they kind of like didn't want to do anything but rule and show their elegance. That's when I kind of, thumb my nose up to him. But again, your ploy was to get us to watch, and I watched three more on my own versus with the three that you sent, just because I found it interesting enough to, keep going to see.
Yeah.
So
There's
kudos to you.
there's one that I do feel like you should watch. Then it's I think it's called the Seven Time Loop, where that one is only in sub. But what I like about that one is she was the guy, the villain, well, the bad guy supposedly, he kept killing her. So then she'll come back, and then at the end, on her seventh death, that's when she was like, "Hey, I'm gonna see you to try to be with him to figure out why he keeps trying to kill me." And I thought it was really cool. Like she learned so much different stuff because she ran away from the prince that she was supposed to originally be with and all that because something happened. He didn't want to marry her. So then she learned how to do like medicine. Another life, she learned like how to grow like vegetables and stuff like that. So she just kept learning. So then when she got to her seventh one, that's when she was in his castle, he was like, "How do you know all this stuff?" And, I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at some of the images. That does sound pretty cool. I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna lie. I'm looking at some of it. I'm like, okay.
It is in sub though, because it was one of the ones that I actually originally sent to y'all. But then I was like, wait, y'all should only watch dub just in case you don't like it.
Yeah.
But that one, I will have to say, I would give it a try because it's one of my favorite ones.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It's,
So,
I mean, I've actually now I feel like the villainous is
But that's this is like your favorite genre, right?
it's becoming my favorite genre now, just because these are actually newer stuff. I don't feel like villainous has been out as long as you would think. Because I mean, I feel like I found out what villainous was last year. So all the stuff that I looked in is still in the last like few years. So I think it's fairly new.
Okay.
There's this new villainous movie, at least TV show that's coming out. I think in July, or at least they're doing previews for it. I don't remember exactly. I'll send it to you guys once I look for it. But it looks very good. And then what I like about it is my favorite genre would have to be isekai, and most villainous are isekai, which I hope y'all know what that is.
I
That's where you go
I
back.
gotta go.
Isn't it where you go into something or to learn about? Or
No, so well, pretty much isekai is usually what happens is it's like reincarnation thing. You die, you go to another world, and that's technically what these are. They die supposedly, and then they go into the game. So they're isekai slash villainous.
And that's I don't know how many times I've been like, especially like when I was in class or something. I can remember back in elementary school being like some of those kids where they're in class, and you got that big window, and your seat is just good enough where you can either look out the window and you can see the field, the playground and the sky, and just be in another world because you're bored to death in school or whatever else.
Yeah,
And you know what I mean? With these, I mean, with the modern audience, it's video games. And, we put such a thing on it. As a matter of fact, before I started watching the anime, I put on the VR and I went to Batu. And after I took the glasses off, if I would have died and got stuck in that video game, I would be in heaven. I would be good. I would be good. I swear to God, I would be
no.
good.
You need to
so
watch Log Horizon, and then you'll figure it out. And then they can't die in at least in SAO, they die.
Zoe, look, if I have to keep going back and forth and killing off some stormtroopers, finding my little droids and everything else, but it's just I could see that yearning for that thing because I've only been to Disneyland. I have never been to Disney World. I've only been to Disneyland once.
Oh, she just been
As a kid, as a kid, seeing Star Wars, and now as a man saying there's no way in the world I'm ever going to experience what it's like to live in that universe. And then you get there, blows your mind. I almost had a tear in my eye when I saw the Millennium Falcon. And then when we wrote it, my wife was like, "What do you want to do next?" And I was like, "I'm done. I've done everything. I'm good." We're like, "We just got here," and I'm like, "Yeah, but all I wanted to do was ride the Millennium Falcon. I did that. The other ride wasn't available then. It was in Florida, but not in California."
Okay.
So you know, being in that world, I can see how these people, when they're, because they show us they're typing on the thing, and oh, I really wish I could be in this era with you, and I really love this character, and then all of a sudden they fall asleep, or the next cut scene is them sleeping on a desk, and they're like, "What is this really real? Am I here?" You know what I mean? So I could get in on that point of view. Like I said, I had the VR on, and every time that I wish I could go, I put the VR on. I'm back on Batu, and now I don't have everybody in there bumping into me. The slow stroller with the 5 kids that are running around acting crazy. I'm there, laser pistol, droid mechanic wrench. I mean, I'm living the dream. So yeah, I could do it. I look, even if I was in that loop, stayed there, died, and got resurrected, I just treated like, oh well. Oh, I wonder how many more days before this, before this body gets. I could do it. I
But
could do
then
it.
that's why in Log Horizon they said the same thing after a while. But then once you're stuck in the game for so long, you do everything. Now what? That's what the whole concept of that was. There was like, we technically we don't really need to, we're gonna eat and stuff like that. But what are we doing? You know, we
Yeah, but
die and we go back to like, the headquarters or whatever, get resurrected and things like that. But then after a while, you're just there. It's like, for instance, would you want to live forever kind of thing, and that's what it was saying.
Well,
In your paradise, all day long, every day, it's not.
well.
Watch
See,
Log Horizon.
again, there's things that you can do to challenge yourself. See, you're not applying. I've been married for 20 something years, so I know something about. I I would reapply myself in different things. Today, I'm not going to get hit by a stormtrooper. Today, I'm going to go talk to C3PO. Today, I'm going to try to build my own droid. Today, I'm going to
After
do
a
this.
while,
Nah, I'm telling you now. I have a good imagination. I can figure some stuff out. The only thing that I don't like is, and not for us, we get DLCs. So eventually, there's going to be new content. And then guess what? You start all that stuff you did over this old into this new content. I'm
I'm
telling you,
telling you,
you can do
you
it.
do
You can-
it. So
the
wow.
only thing that you might get bored with is if you're there alone and the characters don't really the characters only interact with you as if the game goes. Like, so if um I go back into the bar and they only do that set of monologue that's in that cutscene. Now,
oh,
see,
okay.
That
that
would
would
be
be a
awful.
personal hell. Then I'd be like, Zoe was right. Get the hell out of here. So I get you on that part. Now, if they're fully interactive people, that's great. But if it's going to be like you said, now I'm stuck in the video game and they only monologue in this part, then no, I do not want to be there. No, no. But a fully immersed where I can leave, they actually go to the bathroom, I come back out and all this other stuff, and they're looking at, hey kid, how you doing? Oh, okay, I'm good with it. I can do it. But if it's just those cutscenes, nah. Because like you said, within 2 to 3 hours, I'm already bored. I was kind of bored when I was in there today. I was like, come on, I know this. Can we get to the next scene, please? Let's go. So, but these characters, when you hear them talk and they express themselves about the game, because the one girl, she was deep in it. I mean, I love this character. I love the way she was. I wish, I could be with her. Next thing I know, she's talking about she getting bullied, she's getting pushed, and she's getting all this other stuff, and she's like, "Yes, do it harder," and all this other stuff. I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute," but let me just make sure I'm understanding this right. So I'll watch a few more episodes to see where this goes.
Wow, you're dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm a little yeah, but
Yeah.
it did not go the way I thought it was going. So,
Wow.
but it was a fun little thing because after I finished 3 or 4 episodes of that, I went to the next one. And then I'm like, okay, that's really not my speed. Let me go to the next one and see what that one was. And then I caught up to the ones that you showed us, and I was like, okay. The aristocratic one where she was talking about all the kingdoms and all that. That's the one I was kind of like. But then the guys looked a little too sweet.
So
I don't think so.
was this is something that you think you might continue watching, or were you like,
Probably not, except for that first one where the girl was getting kind of bullied and liked it.
See, I was gonna say the second one in the list was the one I think I would watch
The
more
one
of.
with the punch.
the
Yeah, that she kept changing her actual speed, and
Yeah.
I think that was enjoyable for me because
Yes.
it's along the lines of stuff that I would normally watch, and it
right,
didn't do all of that over the top stuff. Like the last one where the girl, she died. I'm going to be the best villainess ever. Blah blah blah.
Hmm.
And then everything she does is a heroine's thing, and the best friend that's supposed to be the heroine is all doing all the villainous stuff. That one, it's not. I watched it, but I didn't. I mean, I sat through it just to say, oh yeah, I looked at this, but I don't think I paid much attention to what was going on. Some of the stuff that was going on, I'm like, oh, she's doing this again, or her sis, was it she? The guy was trying to kill her in the. I think he was trying to kill her inside of a cabin, and then she started doing all this magic, and then another girl stopped her before, and the guy turned around to kill her again, and they still were
Yes.
like,
They were upset.
oh my god, he was down and
Yeah.
you tried to kill him, so you are such a bad. He was just in there trying to kill everybody.
Yeah, and she
And
said
then,
something.
and then the only reason that she didn't die because the guy took the blade in his own arm,
Hmm.
and the other girl is still saying, "But she did this." I'm like, no,
That was horrible.
it was horrible, and I don't think I would have looked at it much longer than that because that to me was stupid.
But then I thought that was really good though because she, even though all that stuff, she was definitely like standing her ground and things. Yeah, she was a little crazy with saying I'm gonna be, the best villainess out there. But then by her going to that little area where all those people that was sent to jail, which technically is like, how they used to do Australia back in the day.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, everybody there, and they all died out. The prisoners. It was just, so again, how Australia is. That's what their ancestors were, and I thought that was just interesting, and how she saved them. And then how the technically, supposedly, the king that was sent there, but now his brother ended up being king, and I thought that was interesting. And then she gave him the eye. That was really cool.
yeah.
well,
So
Yeah.
that was
definitely.
the only one I think I didn't enjoy.
Well, because was it like happy?
But
Even though he said, I don't want to watch Super Happy. But think about it. That one wasn't a truly a happy story. And that was the worst one you think.
but I like this one that you're showing right now.
But was this was action.
It was action. I like action. I don't want to see a what do you call it? I guess I don't watch love stories, so that's the one thing I don't do. And that, even though
They're
I don't
all
think
love stories.
this one, the guy would, like I said, he said he loved her,
Hmm.
but I don't know if he loved her or not.
He did. He kissed her at the end.
Oh, but she was like, all she was doing, she wanted to fight.
Yes.
That's what I enjoyed about that. That was what the main focus was fighting everybody. So yeah, I think that's why I like that more than anything.
Well, I'm glad you like that one.
But the other two, no. The first one, like I said, I don't even remember, and I know I watched it. The last one, that just annoyed the heck out of me. But I sat through it.
I like all of those.
You liked all.
Oh, go ahead. I rewatched them because I was so happy about it.
Well, I mean, but that's the thing. If again, this is your genre, for me, I love the cyberpunk part of the genre of anime. That's kind of my thing. Again, I'm old school. Gal Force, Megazone 23. Uh, those are some of my favorites. Of course, the classics, Gatchaman and stuff like that. But if some of this newer stuff is not bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if that's your genre, man, rock it. I can't.
Yeah.
Again, you showed me something, and look what I did. I went and started looking at some of the other stuff, and I was just like, okay, you know what I mean? Cool. Let it go. You know what I mean? Okay. Let's. What's this next one? What's this one about? So your homework assignment turned out to spark an interest in
Yay.
some things. So I mean, I can't say anything bad about them. I can say, hey, yeah, that one wasn't, like I said, I mean, I could watch them. You know what I mean? Like if you were saying, hey, we're all gonna do a little anime watch party. We're gonna do a villainous thing. Oh, okay, cool. I can watch it. That wouldn't bother me. You know what I mean? I would do that for the experience of it, obviously. But um, I think I think in any anime, I think I really found my tolerance when you have a bunch of the nobles get together and they're all standing around and, oh, we got to do with these until, that's when I'm kind of like, you know,
Yeah.
I love my grit,
Yeah.
you know.
Now that what is it? The gaming one that's on right now. That one's not too bad. I forgot what it's called, but the new episode on.
Yeah, I'm 4 episodes behind.
Yeah, I'm almost caught up on that. But that I enjoy. Like I said, solo leveling. If you haven't seen that, I definitely suggest watching that one. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it took me a while because they're in their hiatus moment now, and I know
Right.
you
It's
told me
not
to watch.
coming out 2027 into 2028.
Yeah, but you told me to watch that like last year, and
I
I didn't
told you
watch
to
it.
watch it when it was on air.
Yeah, and I just watched it a month ago, and I actually enjoyed it. But because some of the stuff she tells me to watch, I'm like, oh, I don't like
But
it. So
I find a lot of I think I find a lot of good shows. It's just that my thing, what I noticed about you is when you watch a show, you watch one show, and then that's it. You don't switch back and forth where I'm watching, like 10 shows at once. You're
oh,
only watching one.
I'm gonna watch the whole
Yeah.
thing, and if I don't like the few episodes I've watched, at that point I'm not watching anything.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna finish it. And like the blood one that we were watching,
Yeah,
and
you say that all the time. Yeah, you
because
don't
it
like it.
sucks. It's
You
so
say this
bad.
every episode. I don't like this show. I don't
Didn't
like
like
that
the
show.
blood show.
I know.
Didn't like it. And I watched
You
all.
want all the episodes except the last 4. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know
so
this.
I did watch that. But like Dawn to Dawn, I
Yeah,
enjoyed
she
that.
like
I
Dawn to
like
Dawn.
Sakamoto Days, Solo Leveling. I like so. Yeah, but these are shows
Talk
because
about everyone.
but those are the ones I like. So you got to look at what you enjoy. Like I said, I like this one. I will continue to watch that one because that's still on the same lines where it isn't that over the top thing.
Yeah.
And I just don't like the over the top thing, but I enjoyed this show right here. So I would definitely continue watching
It only got one season. It ain't getting renewed, I don't think.
this. Oh,
So that's it.
oh, that was a good show.
What we saw is what we're gonna get.
Like you said, you asked me to watch the Demons or whatever.
Yeah,
That's a good show.
it is.
I'm like you said, I think I'm like 2 episodes behind, but that's a really good show to watch.
Yeah, I'm only behind on that show just for the simple fact is the last like week or 2 weeks that I've been at work, I've been watching. I rewatched these, and then I've been watching Log Horizon. So it's something that it's been kind of busy at work, so I haven't like I want to pay attention to that show. So
Right.
that's why I'm 2 episodes behind in English, and then of course that's why there's 4 episodes that are out. So I'm behind for that.
Yeah. So I watched what is it? These shows now, so I haven't been watching it because
Yeah.
I've been trying to catch up on these shows. So that's why I haven't watched it yet.
But I probably will start it tomorrow. It's a Monday night, so
Uh
replay Monday.
oh. Well, have you decided what we might be watching next, or did you? Is there a specific genre or a
See,
specific?
my idea was that since we were doing along the villainous, I wanted to get immersed into isekai.
Okay.
It is my favorite genre. And I was like,
Okay.
but then I was trying to decide. I didn't know if I wanted to get y'all to watch certain shows or just y'all say like, I feel like y'all have all seen isekai. And we just talk about like, some isekai shows and what they are.
So which ones are
Be-
easier done?
So isekai is like, for instance, the time I got retarded as a slime. That's an isekai. SAO would be an isekai.
I've seen
So
every
yeah, you've
episode.
seen SAO and things like that.
So where they are in a,
Where most of the time is you die and
they get stuck into it.
you go to another world. That's usually it's reincarnated thing.
Reincarnation.
Yeah, but then
All
SAO
right.
is they're not dead, but you're still going into a different world. The world is
But
not
they're
your own.
stuck.
Yeah, they're stuck in
And
that
you
world.
could die if you're not fed or whatever.
Yeah, so that's pretty much isekai, and I think that would be a cool genre. There's so much isekai that's out there that, but the problem is isekai usually is not like a one season kind of thing. So that's why I didn't know if I was gonna get y'all to watch like a certain show. Cause like a time I got recarded as a slime, I mean we're on episode like I think six, five or whatever, plus the movie that just came out.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was a
Yeah,
movie that you once saw.
yeah.
Damn.
So I don't know if I was gonna get y'all to do that, or we could just talk about the time I got recarded slime and then wherever y'all stop at. 'Cause that show it gets better as it goes.
Well,
It's
we can do that show and see what everybody says.
Yeah, I mean, I would
Yeah.
rewatch it again.
I would start off with, like you said, start off with that show, and then let's see where we go with it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
You know.
it's definitely a good show. It what got me a while, what took me a long time to watch it, because I didn't see it until like maybe the third season or whatever, just for the simple fact of he got retarded as a slime. So I thought that was stupid. But when I got sick, I was bedridden. So what I did was I turned to it. I thought I would watch a long series, which is that one. And I was like, I'll just sit there and watch it. And after that, I was like, oh my God. He got retarded as a slime.
Okay.
All right then. Post it up,
Yep.
Yeah.
and in 2 weeks, you guys heard it first. This is what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
Yep. That's good. So I guess like and subscribe, and I hope you like this video today. And we'll see you next time. Bye.